Oh dear.
Your call, please.
Operator, have been Delamore Hell 40098 now for the last 3/4 of an hour, and the line is always busy, but I don't see how it could be busy that long. Will you try it for me, please?
I'll be glad to try that number for you. One moment, please.
I don't see how could it be busy all the time. It's my husband's office. He's working late tonight, and I'm all alone in the house. My health is very poor, and I've been feeling so nervous all day.
Ringing Maury Hill 40098.
Hello? Hello, George? Yes, sir.
Oh, hello. What number is this, please?
I hear without client, George. He says the cost is cleared for tonight. Yes, sir. Where are you now? In a phone booth. Okay. You know the address? At 11 o'clock, the private patrolman goes around to the bar on 2nd Avenue for a beer. Be sure that all lights downstairs are out. There shall be only one light visible from the street. At 11:15, a subway train crosses the bridge. It makes a noise in case her windows is open and she should scream. Okay, I understand. Make it quick. As little blood as possible. Our client does wish to make her suffer long. A knife, okay, sir? Yes, a knife will be okay. And remember, remove the rings and bracelets and jewelry in the bureau drawer. Our client wishes it to look like simple robbery. Okay, I get.
Oh, how awful! How unspeakably awful!
Your call, please.
Operator, I've been just cut off.
I'm sorry. What number were you calling?
Why? It was supposed to be Maury Hell 40098, but it was not. Some wires must have crossed, and I was cut into a wrong number. And I've just heard the most dreadful thing. A murder. And operator, you simply have to retrace that call at once.
I beg your pardon. May I help you?
I know it was a wrong number, and I had no business listening, but these two men, they were cold-blooded friends. Some poor innocent woman who was alone in a house near a bridge, and we've got to stop them, we've got to.
What number were you calling?
That doesn't matter. This was the wrong number, and you dialed it, and we got to find out what it was, immediately.
But
Oh, why are you so stupid? Look, it was obviously a case of some little slip of the finger. I told you to try Maury Hell 40098 for me. You dialed it, but your finger must have slipped, and I was connected with some number, and I could hear them, but they could hear me. Now, I simply failed to see why you could not make that some mistake again on purpose. Why you could try to dial Maury Hell 40098 in the same careless sort of...
Maury Hill 40098. I will try to get it for you.
Oh, thank you!
I'm sorry. Maury Hill 40098 is busy.
Operator, I didn't try to get the wrong number at all. I asked explicitly, and all you did was tell correctly.
I'm sorry. What number were you calling?
Can't you, for once, forget what number I was calling and do something specific? And now I want to trace that call. It's my civic duty. It's your civic duty to trace that call and to apprehend those dangerous killers. And if you want,
I will contact you with the chief operator.
please!
This talk can't make anyone understand this. Much time.
This is the chief officer.
Chief operator, I want you to trace a telephone call, immediately. And I don't know where it came from, or who was making it. But absolutely necessary that it be checked down, because it was a murder. Yes, a terrible cold-blooded murder of a poor innocent woman tonight at 11:15.
I see.
Can you trace it for me? Can you track down those men?
It depends, madam.
Depends on what?
It depends on whether the call is still going on. If it's a live call, we can trace it in the equipment. If it's been disconnected, we can't.
Disconnected.
If the parties stop talking to each other.
Oh, but But of course, they must have stopped talking to each other by now. That was at least 5 minutes ago, and they didn't sound like the type who would make a long call.
Well, I can try tracing it. Now, what's your name, madam?
Mrs. Stevenson, Mrs. Albert Stevenson, but Leston.
And your telephone number?
Plus a 42295. But if you go on wasting all this time,
And what is the reason for you wanting this call traced?
oh, my reason. Well, for heaven's sake, is it not obvious? I harbored two men. They are killers. They're planning to murder this woman. It's a matter for the police.
You're making this check into a private call purely as a private individual?
Yes, but meanwhile,
Well, Mrs. Stevenson, I seriously doubt whether we could make this check for you. At this time, you just on your say-so. As a private individual, we'd have to have something more official.
oh, for heaven's sake! You mean to tell me I can report a murder without getting tied up in all this red tape? Why? It's perfectly idiotic. All right, then. I will call the police.
Your call, please.
The police department. Get me the police department, please.
Department pressing 43, Duffy speaking.
Police department. Oh, this is Mrs. Stevenson. Mrs. Albert Smith Stevenson of 52 North Sutton Place. I'm calling to report a murder.
Eh?
I mean, the murder has not been committed yet. I just operated plans for it over the telephone. Over a wrong number that the operator gave me. I've been trying to trace down the call for myself, but everybody is so stupid. Guess in the end, you're the only people who could do anything.
Yes, Mom?
It was perfectly definitely murder. I heard the plan distinctly. Two men were talking and they were going to murder some woman at 11:15 tonight. She lived in a house near a bridge.
Yes, Mom?
And there was a private patrolman in the street. He was going around for a beer in 2nd Avenue. And there was some third man, a client, who was being the have this poor woman murdered. They were going to take her rings and bracelet and use a knife. Well, it's unveiled me dreadfully, and I'm not well.
I see. When was all this happen?
About 8 minutes ago. Oh, then you can do something? You don't understand.
And what is your name?
Mrs. Stevenson, Mrs. Albert Stevenson.
And your address?
53 North Sutton Place. That's near a bridge, the Queensboro Bridge, you know, and we have a private patrolman on our street and the 2nd Avenue.
Well, we'll look into Mrs. Stevenson and see if we can check it with the telephone company.
But the telephone company said they could not check the call of the parties have stopped talking. I've taken care of that.
Oh, yes?
I'd say the whole thing is called for a search. Complete and search of the whole city, and I'm very near a bridge. And I'm not far from the 2nd Avenue. I know I'd feel a whole lot better if you sent a radio car to this neighborhood at once.
And what makes you think the murder's going to be committed in your neighborhood, Mom?
I don't know. This coincidence is so horrible. 2nd Avenue, the patrolman, the bridge.
2nd Avenue is a long street, Mom. And do you happen to know how many bridges there are in the city of New York alone? Not to mention Brooklyn, Staten Island, Queens, and the Bronx. And how do you know there isn't some little house out on Staten Island on some little 2nd Avenue you never heard about? How do you know they were even talking about New York at all?
But I heard a call on the New York telling system.
How do you know it wasn't a long-distance call you overheard? Telephones are funny things. Look, lady, why don't you look at this way? Supposing you hadn't broken on the telephone call? Supposing you'd your husband the way you always do? Would this murder have made any difference to you then?
I suppose not, but it's so inhuman, so cold, blooded.
A lot of murders are committed in this city every day. If we could do something to stop him, we would. But a clue of this kind that's so vague isn't much more use to us than no clue at all. Unless you have some reason for thinking this call is phony and that someone may be planning to murder you.
Me? Oh no, I hardly think so. I mean, why should anybody? I'm all alone at day and night. I see nobody except my maid, Eloisa. She's a big 200-pounder. She's too late to bring up my breakfast tray. And the other only person is my husband, Albert. He's crazy about me, adores me, waits on me hand and foot. His girl left my side since I took sick 12 years ago.
Well then, there's nothing for you to worry about, is there? And now, if you'll just leave the rest to us,
But what will you do? It's too late. It's nearly 11 o'clock.
we'll take care of it, lady.
Will you broadcast it all over the city and send out squad and warn your radio cars to watch out, especially in suspicious neighborhoods like mine?
Lady, I said we'd take care of it. Just now, I've got a couple of other matters here on my desk that require my immediate.
Oh, you it! Oh no. Why did I do that? Now he'll think I am fool. Oh, why does not Albert come home? Why does not he?
I'm not ready.
Your call, please.
Operator, for heaven's sake, will you ring the More Hell 40098 again? I can't think what's keeping him so long.
I'm sorry, Maury Hill 40098 is busy.
I can hear it. You don't have to tell me. I know it's busy. If I could only get out of this bed for a little while. If I could get a breath of fresh air. Or just lean out the window and see the street. Hello, Albert? Hello? 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 What is the matter of this phone? Hello? 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 Oh, for heaven's sake, who is this? Hello? Hello? Your call, please. Operator, I don't know what's the matter of this telephone tonight, but it's possibly driving me crazy. I never seen such an efficient miserable service. Now, look, I'm an invalid, and I'm very nervous, and I'm not supposed to be annoyed, but this keeps on much longer. What seems to be troubled, madam? Everything's wrong. The whole world could be murdered for all people care. And now my phone keeps ringing. Yes, madam. Ringing. I'm ringing every 5 seconds or so. And when I pick it up, there's no one other. I am afraid that is not possible, madam. Not possible? Why? May I ask? The system is automatic, madam. If someone is trying to dial your number, there is no way to check whether the call is coming through the system or not. Unless the person who is trying to reach you complains to his particular operator. Well, all of you the stupid, complicated. Meanwhile, I've got to sit here in the bed, suffering every time the phones ring, imagining everything. I will try to check it for you, madam. Check it, that's all anybody can do, of all the stupid, idiotic.
Oh, I'll fix her. I'm all
Hello? Is this Plaza 42295? Yes, this is Plaza 42295. This is the Western Onion. I have a telegram here from Mrs. Stevenson. Is there anyone else to receive the message? I am Mrs. Stevenson.
The telegram is as follows. Mrs. Albert Stevenson, 53 North Stoughton Place, New York. Terribly sorry. Tried to get you for the last hour, but line busy. Leaving for Boston 11 p.m. tonight on urgent business. Back tomorrow afternoon. Keep happy, love, signed, Albert.
Oh no.
This is all. Do you wish us to deliver a copy of the message?
No, thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
No, it's not true. I could not do it. Not when he knows I'll be all alone. It's some trick, some feeling.
Your call, please.
Operator, share that Maury Hill 40098 number for me just one more, please.
Maury Hill 40098.
Oh, he's gone. Oh, Albert, how cold you. But I can't be alone tonight. I can't. If I'm alone one more second, I don't care what he says or what the expense is. I am a sick woman. I am entitled.
This is information.
I want the telephone number of Hensley Hospital.
Hensley Hospital. Do you have the address, madam?
No, it's somewhere in the 70s too. It's a very small, private, and exclusive hospital where I had my appendix out 2 years ago. Hensley, Hanc.
One moment, please.
Please hurry, and please, what is the time?
I not know, madam. You may find out the time by dialing Meridian 71212.
Oh, for heaven's sake, could not you?
The number of Hensley Hospital is Betterfield 70105, madam.
Who was it you wish to speak to, please?
I want a nurse, as you say at once. I want a trained nurse. I want to hire her immediately for the night.
I see. And what is the nature of the case, madam?
Nerves, and I'm very nervous. Need something in a companionship. My husband is away, and
Have you been recommended to us by any doctor in particular, madam?
But I really don't see why all this catechizing is necessary. I want a trained nurse. I was a patient in a house 2 years ago, and after all, I'd expect to pay this person.
We quite understand that, madam, but registered nurses are very scarce just now. Our superintendent has asked us to send people out only on cases where the physician in charge feel it is absolutely necessary.
Well, absolutely necessary. I am a sick woman. I am very upset. I'm alone in this house, and I am valid tonight. I overheard the telephone conversation that upset me dreadfully about the murder of a poor woman who was going to be murdered at 11:15 tonight in the fact someone. Oh my God, stop it. I thought this was running down what time is it?
I see. Well, I'll speak to Miss Philip as so as she come in. And what is your name, madam?
Miss Phillips, and when do you expect her in?
I really don't know, madam. She went out to supper at 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock? But it's not 11 yet. Oh my God, stop it. I thought this was running down. What time is it?
14 minutes past 11.
Oh, what's that?
What was what, madam?
That clicked just now in my own telephone. I thought someone had lifted the receiver of the hook of the extension phone downstairs.
I didn't hear it, madam.
They did. There's someone in this house, someone downstairs in the kitchen, and they're listening to me now. I won't pick it up. I won't let them hear me. I'll be quiet, and they'll think. But if I don't call someone now, well, they're still down there. There'll be no time.
Oh, answer.
Your call, please.
You've got to hurt me. Oh, please. You've got to help me. There's someone in this house. Someone's going to murder me. And I've got to get in touch with the... Oh, there is he. He's putting down the extension. He's coming up the stair. Give me the police department.
Ringing the police department. Police Department, Breaker 43, Duffy speaking. Police Department, Duffy speaking.
Sorry, wrong number.